Okay guys, in my last video there at the end I was talking about Augs and I showed you all the magnetic lodestone and I said no, this isn't from No Memorial Mountain. Uh, Finally sorted that one out. It's from Sathir's tomb, which is a zone connected through Howling Stones and Ring of Scale. And I thought to myself, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get there. It's a good camp. Obviously I did it solo. Um, and I thought, well, I'll make a video on how to get there as a necro because there's a combination of sea and vis mobs, undead mobs, alive mobs. In depending on who was in the zone last or how the server reset popped up, will depend on what type of mobs are up and what you can easily get through and what you can't. So go through the guild hall, get your mallet handed off to Zelfman, and zone into the over there, and run yourself down to Howling Stones. We are the only one in here at the moment. On test, this is a pretty popular zone because of the way the expansions have been released. On test, we were up to Ring of Scale for a very long time. Should probably set my pet or my merc to reactive. That would be smart. We were up to Ring of Scale, so unless you bought Kovrtov, so there are a lot of people on here that just won't spend any money. So they would constantly grind 110, constantly grind A's, and I think Howling Stone and the Tomb were some of the best dungeons for that for groups. I enjoyed this zone back when it was, I think it was 60 in Kunark. I played a rogue back then, more than my necro, and the rogue was my guild tune. My necro was in the guild, but we had two necros that were raiding necros, and I found the raiding rogue was more valuable. So anyway, I loved this zone back then. I love it now as a necromancer, being able to go anywhere I want, do what I want. It involves a lot of kind of trickery, a lot of punting with roots, a lot of feign death, a lot of invising, a lot of run and hope. There are some great camps. I didn't spend a lot of time here XP grinding because I feel like the number of mobs and the way they're congested, the way they're just on top of each other, is not the best for pet tank. Tons of roamers, so even if you do set up, you're gonna constantly be dealing with ads. It's awesome when it's a increased spawn weekend or whatever from mains, and you gotta get in here and get those few items you need, and you don't mind just sitting on a 2 or 3 mob camp and maybe, watching some Netflix or something, reading a book, whatever, while you just grind the respawns. But I will say Sathir's Tomb is a different story. There's more room to move around, and also it's got some Sarnak faction that we benefit from, because we as in the people that are following my videos, we have a good faction with that group, and so we get to miss out on things. So here's what I'm talking about. That inappropriate thing, that Devourer is alive. And if we can click on it, that Spectre is undead. So, bad news situation, right? We need to get by there, and the only way to do it is for us to just go for it. What Or we can do this. I will punt the Devour and feign death. I will stand up, tag and feign, tag one with snare, and then feign death again. So now I've got one live mob rooted in the back. I've got the Spectre rooted via snare. And then the other mob's going to roam back to its place, and it's going to clear aggro. So I can now send my pet, stand up, clear this mob. This is the slow and safe way to do it. If I wasn't trying to show for everyone's viewing purposes, I would just run through and ignore, take a beating, ignore, feign death, let everybody reset, and go on my way. But I wanted to show you all how easy it is for us to break through this. It was a punt route, clear aggro. It was pull of darkness, have the full camp come to you, feign death again. Now that live mob is still rooted, so we're just going to pull the next one. We've got aggro, but we don't care. Let the camp come to you, feign death, target one, stand up immediately, snare immediately, feign death again. That snared mob will be rooted next to you. Let the mobs go back to their place. Let aggro clear. You've got that mob sitting on top of you. Send your pet. Make sure nobody else is add to that pet attack, and then stand up and dot it. We are going to clear all three of these mobs very easily. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to put any damage on it. I don't remember if it devours summon, but we are good to go. We'll send the pet in and we'll clear this out. And then we'll run through that wall. Let me go ahead and finish dotting this guy up. There's some change with this, and I'm not loving it. It's like it's not showing my crits. It's showing, I hit for negative 278k, parentheses, negative 1.8 million. I think if I'm reading my numbers right. No, I wasn't. I hit for 28,000, and I hit for 168,000 on the crit. Anyway, I'd rather see the crit message. So we're through and we're about to get attacked because we ran through, and instead of being a live mob, it was an undead mob. So we hit feign death, and we are going to, this time, once that clears, and I don't want to waste effigy right now, we're going to hit 4 to stand, and we're going to spam invis undead, and we'll be fine. And it looks like these 3 mobs are all undead, so we're just going to hop up and everything's great. My pet's confused, which is nothing new. At this point, I'm going to turn my merc to passive, because we're going to have some things to deal with, and we're going to try to avoid any battles. Now, we have to pass through here, go into this little hidden tunnel, pass by here, another hidden thing. We're getting over to here. I've got high filter on. There it is. Usually it's going to have 1 or 2 live mobs we have to deal with. But as you saw there, I stood up, I spammed invis versus undead, and now we're good to go. So, have our map, and hit high filter again. And now we're just going to make a run for it. We will check mobs as we need to. think we're all clear through here. We need to hug this. See, we're good on this undead. We're good on all those undead. That guy's our problem. Fortunately, we're not going there. That's not good. But again, fortunately, we're not going there. We're going over here. That's not good. So, I chose to spam my effigy. I will put my Merc back on because I don't have aggro, and let him heal me up. Set it back to passive, and kind of have a decision here. We can let that guy go. We can stand up and hit Invis versus Undead because I know there's that Spectre behind us, which is what we're going to do. And we kind of need to decide, do we want to go forward and kill this guy, which is probably our best bet. I'm not sure on the roaming path on that dude, but we're going to have to get rid of him. There's going to be more mobs in there, and most of them are going to be undead. So, right here, we're going to drop him, and we're going to just pay attention to... that mob moved on, but we're going to pay attention to behind us. We're going to watch our extended target list, but this is part of getting to Sathir's tomb. There are some times where you cannot. You need to make the smart choice, and holy crap, see, did not put my Merc back on. That was not very smart. I used Med Companion. I used the GS. I'm going to go ahead and heal myself. Now everything's fine. This isn't like Tob mobs. We're not going to have an issue, but that was about to be a disaster and would have just burned the video. No. I've got a suspended companion still, so we would have been all right. This bile, if I don't, missed it. That bile is a real pain in the butt. Burn is a real pain in the butt too. And see, there's an undead mob. So we've got a deal here. The point of this video is for us to get over here. Since we've got that named, and named are always fun to have videos for, I'm going to stop this one. We're going to take on that named in a separate video, pick it back up, and finish the run. So I'll see you guys in the next video.